Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, and I am going to be bringing you the entire series today of STX Soul versus versus KT Rolster. And I know this is actually the first time in quite some time I've actually brought an entire series, but we're going to be doing this from start to finish. And I'm going to be joined by my good casting partner, Varosh, and we're going to get straight into the game here on set 1, STX versus KT. This is going to be calm for STX, their newfound ace since the end of last season, their MSL winner, and counterpart is going to be Violet for KT Rolster. Did very, very well in the first round of Pro League, went something like 9-1. Second round tailed off a little bit, got I think 3 or 4 losses so far, but still has been a very, very nice compliment to Flash, helping them win a lot of games. Both of these teams are very, very high up in the standings, doing very, very well, and this is going to be the last game of the second round of Pro League. So these two top teams are going to be jockeying for position as we head into round 3, which is the Winners League. And so this series is actually very, very important. And I'm going to hand it over to Varosh, let him give his little preview of this match, Calm versus Violet, and what he thinks about this series, because this is a very important series.
Well, we wouldn't even be seeing this match or this series if it wasn't for me. Deja Vu, with a special little Team Liquid recommendations, heard that set 3 is good, and then maybe another set was good. But I'm the one who convinced him to do the whole set, so you guys should be thanking me. Violet is surprisingly pretty good. He started his career off very shaky. I remember a couple of games in which he got utterly stomped, but he's over 50% in every matchup. Zerg being his worst one, but it's still over 50%. There's very few players that are over 50% in every matchup, and it's just Violet's never really made a name for himself in any Star Leagues. I don't even think he's ever seen a round of 16. Definitely not a good Star League performer so far, but he's been great in Pro League, 9-1 in round 1, as Deja Vu said, and it looks like Calm is going to be going for, I believe that was an overpool, and Calm's definitely a better player. I don't know if he can beat Flash, but he's definitely a very good player. And Violet's going to be going for a Forge Fast Expand. We'll see if he tries to skimp on the cannons, as many players are trying to do nowadays, and to pretty good success so far. It looks like an epic drone versus pro battle. Wow. No, it lives, and Violet's not going to be able to deny Calm's hatchery, so he gets that up, and it's going to be pretty standard going into a longer game. What do you think, Deja Vu?
Violet's playing with fire. Against Novapool, you're supposed to do Forge, Cannon, Nexus. He went Forge, Nexus, Cannon, so that means that he's going to get his cannon up. He's going to have to pull up probes pretty quickly in order to deal with the early links, and they're popping right now. And, just commenting on what you said earlier about Violet not really making it into any Star Leagues, he's still very, very young, so I'll give him time. But, if he ends up becoming like a guy who just does well in Pro League, doesn't really advance in Star League, you almost think that he might become a Protoss version of C, over 50% in every single matchup. Very, very good in Pro League for NBC, but just doesn't cut it when it comes to Star League. So that'd be disappointing if that's what ends up happening. I'm sure KT will be happy, but for the Violet fans out there, probably will not be as happy. And the Zerglings are out right now, but they just look like they're dealing with the probes right now, not going to be putting on any early pressure. So Violet's actually going to be able to get away with that little skimping on that corner, getting rid of going with a little bit of a later cannons there. So good for him, as Zerg is Calm is also getting a third hatchery up, so it's a pretty standard play from both these players, and that's a very interesting wall from Violet. I gotta say, that bottom of that is very, very open. Those cannons are very, very open. I think he's gonna put a core in front of that, but as it stands right now, that is a very, very open wall. Not even really a wall, if you ask me.
Yeah, that is not one of the better or more common Forge Cannon wallins I've seen. Violet's just so fortunate that Calm's not done anything with his Zerglings. He's got his gas up now, but he's actually going 3-hatch Hydra. Wow, this is huge. This is like a cheese that you might see me doing on iCoppa. It's really rare to see a pro gamer going for 3-hatch Hydra, so he's probably going to put on a lot of...
Unless it's Shine.
And unless it's Shine. Yeah. Shine, I think Shine's nickname is like the 5-minute Bonjour or something, which is totally making fun of him. And he's putting his Cybernetics core in an awkward place, his gateways not blocking for the cannons at all. It's like, if you were going to pick one game to go for a crappy cheese, this is perfect. I think Violet, even if he scouts this and is able to throw up a couple more cannons, he still might get raped, just because the positioning of his buildings is pretty much awful because Com's got I think 8 Zerglings, and those are going to be able to not only get to the cannons and not be walled off, but also surround the cannons because they're not even like isolated or well placed. I don't know what Violet was smoking before this game, but that is not how you do a Forge Fast Expand.
You know what I think? I think he might have placed his forge off by 1 pixel, and he couldn't put a cannon underneath it. I think. Although normally you'd put your forge underneath your gateway, not on top. But yeah, very very weird. And trying to hide his Stargate because Calm will never suspect a Stargate coming. A good choice of tech to hide.
A Stargate and PvZ?
Yeah, and he's not scouting at all. I think that Sarah is going to be too late, and 3-hatch Hydra is going to already be underway. The Sarah should probably pop out as the Hydralisk move out, so he'll get a few seconds of warning, but not a lot. As soon as that happens, he's going to have to cancel everything he's doing and just throw down, as many cans as he can, 3 or 4, whatever. And 3 Zealots here just trying to push out, just trying to keep, really just trying to keep Calm from having too much scouting information, just trying to look for a solo Zergling or a couple Zerglings that they might be able to take down and surprise that Calm is.
2 Stargates.
Oh, 2 Stargates. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was actually a second Stargate. So actually, he is hiding a second Stargate. So that is actually pretty cool. So never mind. My insult towards Violet is retracted. That is a perfectly fine thing to hide, and the Hydras are already out. So this Overlord is going to go down, but he's not seeing any of these Hydras. He has no idea. I'm making a mistake, I think, there. I'm not seeing it yet. I think that first Corsair is just seen it, and he should be throwing out tons and tons of Corsairs if he can. Nope, still hasn't seen it. Go for it, bro. I don't know what he's going to do.
Oh, I think, he's still, okay, I think, no, he still hasn't flown over it. Alright, he sees a Hydra, and it's a little bit early for, he knows it's not 3-hatch mutant to 5-hatch Hydra because it's a little early for Hydras. Hydras are coming in. They already took off 1 cannon. Cannons are going up, but they're not even close to being ready. Both cannons are going to get picked off, and as I said, those 4 Zerglings
this is over.
Went straight for the cannons, and there was nothing to block them. Com managed to keep that concealed forever. Violet's going to take out the 3rd base that's going up, but that's not going to matter at all because he's going to lose his natural and going to lose every probe at his main, and a 3rd base is hardly any compensation. Doing a probe drill, but GGing. He's like, hey, look, I can do a probe drill, and he's like, screw it. No.
Hey, for all you Protoss players, this is why with your first Sarah, you go and scout your enemy base first. Don't kill the Overlord first, go scout first. Get you that additional 6 seconds maybe for more cannons to go up. If 2 of those cannons had warped in time and given chances for the other 4 cannons to maybe warp in a little bit later and towards the end of that battle pulling off some probes, he might have lived. It would have been questionable because of his bad building placement, but he would have at least had a chance. That wasn't even close. That was pretty ugly by Violet. I think that loss, I mean, good job by Calm getting it, but that's more of a Violet losing than Calm winning that.
Yeah, and just some closing thoughts. Liquipedia has a guide to where to place your forge and cannons and gateway for pretty much all maps, and Violet should definitely check that out if he hasn't already, because that was just awful.
Yes, he should. All right, we're going to head over to set 2, Washington versus Luxury. See y'all there.
GG.